What's current? As the great lyricist, rapper, superstar, performer, Lil Wayne once said, "All rats gotta die." I'm a rat. I gotta die. Who else is a rat? Trench's News. Trench's News. I noticed I did a story about him a while ago, but this is a little bit more information on him. He has apparently been an FBI informant for over a decade. He still wears the mask. They don't do the modulated voice. I'm surprised they don't do the shadow and the modulated voice. That's the weird thing about interviews. There are variations. There's differences. There's things that are commonly used and things that are not commonly used. Some people, I guess he preferred it. He may have been asked, Vlad may have asked, do you want me to modulate your voice? Do you want me to put you in the shadow? Do you want me to, put on this? Because that's what I remember. I watched Gangland and all different things. And they're like, oh yeah, when I was in the gangs and it was crazy, niggas was wilding and whatever the case may be. They had the modulated voice with Zach Galifianakis called in his comedy special the monster voice. But that's what it was. I mean, I don't understand. That's just this little ticks that I have, little weird things that I pick up on. It's like there's differences. Some people have no mask, no modulated voice, lights on their face, can see who they are, can see everything, but it's all good. And then there's some people that have the modulated voice and then just like a mask. And then some people just have the mask, the modulated voice, and the shadow placed on them. So I guess it goes by choice. But anyway, FBG Butter has laid out the claim that YouTuber Trench's News, who's getting $25,000 allegedly every month on YouTube, based on his snitching abilities, his ratting criteria. He's been able to do that. He's been able to achieve that. He's saying this is his first time paying taxes because of his YouTube streams and his other streams of income. So I think it's an interesting thing because he's in it for almost the exact right reasons. He should be going after murderers, rapists, predators, people like that, fraudsters, things like that, not drug dealers. Drug dealers, you should just let go. Just shouldn't even think. I understand what he has to do. I think he has to comply with the FBI. If they're going after a drug dealer because it's still on the books. It's still the law. Sadly, that drugs can't be, produced, manufactured, purchased, sold, consumed, and the whole rest of the pieces. Everything that should go into it. That's the sad part. He may have to snitch on drug dealers, but he should be snitching on murderers and rapists and predators and thieves and robbers and stuff like that. So it's an interesting take. It's very interesting to me because he has the sensibility of somebody that is very astute, very it seems like he has good sense. That's what's coming from me. His whole demeanor is one of somebody that has the craft and the know-how to be definitely in what quote unquote entrenched in the ability to snitch. All right, what do we got? We got Charles 13X. What about drug users? Just same thing. Drug users, everything related to drugs should be legalized. Everything. Across the board. Manufacturer, producer, seller, consumer, everybody. The whole 9 yards should be completely free. And there should only be a tax on the consumption, not on the income. There should only be a tax on the consumption of drugs, not on income. But so Trench's News, I learned about him a few months ago. He seems like he's a good guy. He seems like he has the right amount of snitchery, if I can say the word, snitchery about him, and he's created an entire industry for himself, and he's been outed. His address has been outed. I think he's been showing without his mask on before, but he's still doing his damn thing. I mean, So he knows one day there could be, one person that's not going to like the fact that he's snitching and whatever. Yeah, I'm not saying it's got to happen, but I'm just saying it could happen, and he should watch out for that. But it's still a very, tumultuous game. It's very, I'm trying to think. It's Chicago is where he's from. Let me make 100% sure. That's where you get the FBGs. I don't even know what FBG stands for. My dumb ass. I didn't even look that up. Look that up first. I'm looking it up right now. I'm trying to find it. Don't worry. It's okay. That's not it. What the hell? Full-blooded goon? Is that what it's called? It means FBG. Full-blooded goon. Is that? Am I right? Let's see. We got. Oh my God. What is that? Charles 13X2. They say they stand for Foundational Black Gangster. Yeah, I can't take that. I think it's full-blooded goon. I think I just found it out. It's full-blooded goon. Until further notice. Until the play is under review. But that's what I think FBG stands for. But FBG Butter is, he's coming out saying just like nonchalant, just very cool, laid back, saying yeah, he's an informant for the FBI for over a decade, for 10 years. He just said it all matter of factly and just plainly, and he said it very in a matter of fact manner. But I think that Trench's News has the right idea. And there should be, if there are more people like him, we would have a better America, a better world. Snitching. That's what Mr. Troy Star Terrain's network is. Snitch Network, because he wants to make sure that aunties, uncles, cousins, nephews don't get caught in the crosshairs because somebody, and then nobody wants to say nothing, nobody wants to talk, no one wants to speak up. You got a dead baby in the street, and an old head, in the neighborhood. They're both dead in the street, but nobody wants to say what happened to them. No one wants to speak up. No one wants to say anything. So the family's still grieving the fact that they're gone, and it's a double whammy because they get hit with the fact that nobody cares. Nobody really wants to figure out who killed their loved one. That's the sad fact. That's the reality of it. So we have to really be mindful of the fact that, we joke and say snitches, and snitches gotta die, and all rats gotta die, even Master Splinter and stuff like that. But the reality is, snitches get riches. Snitches don't get stitches. Snitches get riches, as you can see with Trench's News. Trench's News is getting paid. He's getting money. So that's a plus. That's one thing that is good about other people outside of the haters universe. People are focused on being more conscious about what they do and who they are, and that is a bonus. And I just watched the Vlad TV interview, FBG Butter. He just, he didn't even have any real animosity towards Trench's News. He's just like, hey, he's a snitch. Let me be a snitch. He just said, he had little moments where he was like saying he's in a, because Vlad TV said he was shot and he was in a wheelchair, and he was like, and then FBG Butter was like, he's in a wheelchair, and he was like, no, Vlad TV was like, oh no, just at the time he was like, oh, because I was gonna roll his, and then he stopped. He knew what he was saying, and he didn't want to go any further. So that's what we're dealing with. That's the kind of lifestyle is going on in this country because of the fact, mainly because of the fact that drugs are illegal. Imagine if drugs were legal. That's the only thing we can do is imagine. We're so against reason. We're so against rationality. It's sickening. All right, here goes Rick James messing up my name. Ladies and gentlemen, you eaten the best and got the best. Pause. No diddy. The young, gifted, and great of now, of new and fueled ideas, and he runs into the looking glass to see above and beyond. He's the man with the hat, no cap. Sclear Sanders sees. Not Trank though. That stuff is nasty work. What are you talking about, Charles 13X? I have no idea what you're talking about. Not Trank though. That stuff is nasty work. What is nasty work? Not Trank. What is Trank? Is that short for tranquilizer? What is that? You gotta explain yourself a little further. Trank is a duck. No. Everything. Trank, crocodile tears, whatever the hell they were called. In Russia, they got some crazy ass shit I heard about from like 10 years ago. Yeah, some Trank. I want Trank. I want Crank. I want Dank. I want everything to be completely legalized. Everything. Because it's just like alcohol. We noticed the results. We saw that. We did an experiment. We're like, okay, everybody, no alcohol. And guess what? Everybody did alcohol either way. They found a way. There's speakeasies and underground and running, liquor in the middle of the night. That's how NASCAR got started. It's the same thing. Drugs are the same thing. They serve the same purpose, to alter your mind state. Now, granted, given I have to give some pause. There should be certain ramifications for people that go out and drive on Trank or whatever the hell you're talking about, and they should be the book should be thrown at them. They should get 25 to life or something like that if they kill somebody in an auto wreck or something like that. There should be some severe penalties for not for just somebody that just want to sit home in the easy chair, had a long day at work, and wants to bang heroin between their toes. Why isn't that possible? Why shouldn't somebody be able to do that? Somebody who wants to just make some cocaine, chop off some fish scale, make some rails before their morning commute. I mean, if the cocaine doesn't affect their ability to drive, that should be okay. And yeah, we got people in the room like Rick James. He does angel dust. Let him be. Let him do his angel dust. I haven't heard any reports here today. Richard James. I don't even. Where are you from, Rick James? I don't even. Are you from Florida? Wherever you are from. He was wrapped up around a pole after hitting 6 other cars and killing 3 other people. But he survived. You should go to jail. You should go to prison for the rest of your life. That's how serious it is. What about assisted suicide? Very good question. That's the key thing. Assisted suicide. That means that there's going to be more than one person present. It's going to be done officially. It's going to be done, to the law. I'm totally for assisted suicide. Completely in favor of it. Completely in favor of assisted suicide. So, anyone who wants to commit suicide, for under certain circumstances, if you're like 20 years old and life isn't going so great, your job sucks, and your love life's DOA, like the song goes. I don't want to get copyright from them because that's a juggernaut. But anyway, things aren't going well. That's different. You shouldn't be able to commit suicide at that point. You should be able to go to some kind of physician, some kind of doctor, some kind of psychiatric professional, and work it out. Work things out. If you're 97 years old, you had a full life, you're an ache, you have aches and pains that won't go away, you've had all the medicines, you tried all the therapy, and it's not happening, you should be like, hey, look, I'm ready to go. I'm good. This is time to go. It's time to leave. Had a long life, had a good life. Everybody, I'm out of here. See you later. I'm completely in favor of that. Completely in favor of that. But we're not talking about assisted suicide right now. I just had to give that explanation real quick. But we're talking about Trenches News, FBG Butter, and Vlad TV. Vlad has a way of asking questions and pulling people from. That's why he's so successful, I think, because he has such a way of asking the right questions in the right time. But he was asking FBG Butter, exactly what terms Trench News is on. He's just saying, like, he didn't really say anything with disheartening. He just said he's a snitch. He's an informant. He's been an informant for over a decade with the FBI. It should be legal for people that are terminally. Yeah, exactly. That's what I agree with that. I agree with that. I missed. I was in my head. I'm thinking I'm missing something. I'm missing something. Terminally ill people, obviously, that's a great thing. I overlooked. I'll take credit for that. I overlooked that, and that's something that needs to be addressed. Anybody with cancer, anybody with Parkinson's, and is aware of it, and and its life is just hell, and it's just terrible, and you can't deal with it anymore. You should be able to say, "I'm done. All right, I'm out of here. I'm cool. No thanks. No thanks for the treatments. No thanks for the therapy. No thanks for the medications. I'm all good. Let me out of here." And that should be final. It should be a personal condition to be shared with their doctors, and they should be able to be released from the bounds of this earth, the bounds of the universe, really, because you can be released from the bounds of the earth. But let's stay on topic here, folks. Let's stay on topic. I just had to address it because it came up. So, if you have any doubt as to whether there's a difference between, murderers, drug dealers, murderers, rapists, fraudsters, robbers, and drug dealers, just know that there's the difference between people that ran alcohol during Prohibition. And that was the highest rate of police deaths in any time in America. Any time. It was like at 60, over 50%, I think it was, of deaths in 1 year. It was serious. And that's what's fueling, the death rates in places like Mexico, places like Venezuela, places like in parts of the United States. It's all because of drugs. Thank you, MC. Thank you. How much is it to shut up? Oh my God, $20. You give me $20 right now, I end this broadcast. I swear to God. You give me $20. My Cash App is $SKYLERSAUNDERS1. Just the number 1, not ONE. So just hit me up. If you want to use PayPal, it's paypal.me/SKYLERSAUNDERS. Also, Venmo at SKYLERIZED. You can shut me up for $20. Malik, hilarious. All right. Somebody's got their knickers in a twist, I guess. Got their panties in a bunch, I would imagine. But that's the state in which we live. We live in a bogus, insane society. We've noticed Prohibition. Man, that doesn't work. So we have Prohibition. We have Prohibition 2.0 with the drugs. And we have a war on drugs. We have a war on cancer. We have a war on this and war on that. Why do we have a war on an inanimate object? How can you even fight them? It's crazy. Makes 0 sense. I got 4 people in here. I need 4 likes. Get those likes up, folks. Get those likes up. But it's just awful. It really is awful. I mean, you're just taking into account the lives lost, the hundreds of thousands, if not millions of lives lost since the dawn of cracking down on drugs. Then you have the millions, thousands, and not hundreds of thousands, maybe millions all over the world. There's only 2 million people in America, American prisons. But just imagine how many people have been incarcerated because of some drug offense. That's disgusting. That's horrific. We should know better by now. But no, politics gets in the way. But it's not even really politics. It's just irrationality. It's just irrationality on both sides. The Democrats and Republicans, they'll agree. That's one of the worst things you can possibly happen, is for the Democrats and the Republicans to agree on something. Because they both would agree, yeah, we need stringent, they'll have different levels and different layers of saying, oh, yeah, we need to, just enough, just weed. We can have weed. Okay, we can have weed. Okay, that's fine. Okay. And then we'll heavily tax it, and for the consumer and the producer, and it's going to be extremely hard to get. It's going to be difficult. We're going to make it hard for it to be disseminated throughout the population, and that's what's going to be. That's what's going to be. So, I think for the entirety of where it began, it was like the 70s. The 70s and the 80s really blew it up, especially with crack cocaine. Crack cocaine hit, it was like everything had to get hit. Everything had to go down. Just these young kids trying to make a living, trying to make more money than their teachers. Teachers are making what, $20,000 a year? They can make $20,000 in a day selling crack, selling coke. Now, just make that make sense. Just have that make sense. Your teacher's telling you all this stuff that you don't really need to even know. You're not even headed to college. She's getting paid $20,000 a year. You can make $20,000 in a day. Who in their right? Who else in their right mind would say, you know what? It's a pretty good goddamn deal. She's not even making close to what I can make. But no, they got to go to jail. They got to go to prison, and they made a big hurrah about how cocaine users and cocaine distributors were getting paid less jail time than crack cocaine users and distributors. It's disgusting. It's disturbing. Awful, awful, awful. So I salute Trench's News. I salute him and say that he's one of the good guys. It's a shame he has to hide his face. It's a shame he can't probably do things in public that he normally could do. But that's just the cost. That's just the cost of being an informant and a snitch. I haven't gone to the point where I'm an informant or a snitch for the FBI, but I would do so, very discreetly, behind closed doors, very quiet and shh, very, very much so like that. That's what I think is very vital to our American fabric, the system of our lives. These draconian sentences, these football numbers, people getting 80 years, 100 years, 200 years, 1,000 years for drugs. People that ate somebody's face off they'll get 70 years. It's a lot of time, but somebody just selling drugs got 1,000 years, got a life sentence. I think Guy Fisher had a life sentence. I think he has a doctorate now. Guy Fisher, look him up. Think about Guy Fisher. Didn't know him, but goddamn, that's my nigga. Who said that? Who said that? Wild show so far, yeah. Well, tell other people, Rick James. You know what the deal is. I don't even have to remind you. You know what time it is. It was so wild. Let 10 people know, but not 11. That's with the influx of the drugs and that's the thing too. It happens every few months. You hear 50 kilos or 500 kilos of cocaine washed up on the Miami shores, and it was taken in by police. Like that means that 10,000 kilos of of cocaine have been washed up on the shores or somewhere else, and they're able to, have it not be tracked, and people are going to get it. If I want to get coke, if I really wanted to get a drug, I could go get it. I could go find a way to get it. It's not that hard. It's sad that it has to be clandestine and under the table and quiet and hush hush and shh, and everything like that. It should be on the table. I have 0 viewers right now. 0 viewers. 0 viewers. I have a skunk for 0 viewers right now. Sometimes it goes back up. Sometimes it stays around there. I'm not mad. But I think it's very crucial that we have people like Trench's News in the midst. It's people like that are protecting us despite the drug dealer thing. He wants to clean up his neighborhood. He wants to do something, and he did it. And he's doing something that not a lot of people are fond of. Snitch. Oh my God. And what is that? That's self-preservation. That's selfishness. If they were altruists, they'll say, yes, please snitch on me. Thank you. I would love to go to prison. But no. There's certain circumstances. Oh, no, I got to be selfish now. Now I got to be selfish. This guy wants me to send me to prison for how long? For 47 years? Oh, no. I can't do that. I can't do that. And they want me to say something against my partner that I was with for 12 years? Oh, no. I can't do that. That's beyond the pale. That's out of the realm of existence. That's out of the realm of possibilities. I can't do that. That can't be done. So it's a very weird place to be in, I think. Very weird place. It's a strange kind of living, but it's a living, as they say. And he's pretty much making a killing. He's getting good money. $25K a month off of YouTube. That's good. That's bank. That's good money. Some people, that don't realize how lucrative it is to have a YouTube channel is missing out. I've got thousands of dollars off of this channel. I appreciate every nickel, every dime, every penny. Very fortunate. I haven't paid one tax. Thank you. Appreciate it. Haven't paid a single tax on any of it. They send me the forms, I'll fill them out. They don't send me anything, nothing to fill out. Come on, IRS. Do what you got to do. Find what you got to find, but you're not going to find them from me. Especially not from Cash App. They have it in place where they don't even check your account if you have more than $600 in it, or amass $600, more than $600 in a calendar year. So that's where that lies. That has to be happening. Have to get rid of drugs laws. Not get rid of drugs. Get rid of drug laws that totally instigate against human beings who just want to get high, who just want to do what they're going to do, who just want to make some money, make a lot of money, make millions, maybe billions off of selling drugs. It should be done out in the open, not in the shadows of a seedy street scene. That should not happen. It should be out and open in any stores, just like a liquor store. I agree with liquor stores. You look at people's ID, you determine whether they're old enough to purchase it. I say 17 years old and older. And that should be it. All right. I want to ask a question. Would you date or marry an atheist? What is stopping you from dating or marrying an atheist? I got this from a study. It's called the Our Religious Landscape Study. Found that almost 4 in 10 Americans, 39%, who have married since 2010 have a spouse who is in a different religious group. By contrast, only 19% of those who wed before 1960 report being in a religious intermarriage. So that could just be two or more marriages, two different faiths. I'm looking for, and this is the age distribution among married adults who are atheists. From 18 to 20, it's 8%. From 50 to 64, it's 24%. 65 and up is 17%. But the lion's share, the biggest part, 50% is 30 to 49. So would you marry or date or marry an atheist? I myself an atheist. I'm looking for a female, a woman who is obviously of age and who happens to be an atheist. And it even goes on to further say an objectivist, which is even, because every atheist is not an objectivist, but every objectivist is an atheist. That's facts. So we have to understand the different meanings, different outlooks. What are the different ideas that people have, the people that can relate to being in a relationship with somebody that believes in Jesus and the resurrection and all of that, or somebody that believes in Muhammad and holds all, prays to the east and says 5 prayers a day, and who is Jewish, who has curls, and or who is an Orthodox. Well, I don't know if the Orthodox get married. Do they get married? I don't know. But just a Jewish person, somebody that goes to a deli and gets roast beef on rye, like that. That's what I'm talking about. I mean, would you marry somebody that was Jewish? Would you marry somebody that was Islamic? Would you marry somebody who was a Christian? And why? And why do Christians? How come there are Christian divorces? Shouldn't there be completely with the power of Jesus? Shouldn't his power say this bond, this unity, this union should always stand? And what about all the different sects? S-E-C-T-S, not sex. Sects. The different religious groups or faith groups of faith. I like to say faith in relation to it, because religion could be construed as anything. Oh, I'm a religious person because I get up in the morning and I brush my teeth and I put on my clothes and I get ready for work, and that's a religion. But faith is something that you believe in. Yeah, and I think Christians especially have it down pat. They don't call things what they aren't. I have to give them credit for that. They call it faith. That's exactly what it is. They don't say, "Oh, this is reason. We have reason." I mean, in some circumstances where they mispronounce things, but they say, we have faith. We believe. Exactly. You have to have faith, and you have to believe to have some kind of connection to the supernatural. You literally have to have faith. You can't have reason with the supernatural. You can't have reason with things that are not so. And faith is the acceptance of ideas in the absence of evidence. So there has to be evidence. And that is one thing that Christians could give a goddamn about, is evidence. No. He woke up in my spirit. I saw it on the television news, and then I saw it in my stuffed teddy bear, and then there was a light that gleamed off the front of the house, and that just showed me the way. That was all God. That was all Jesus. That's all him. 3 people in here. Make sure that the likes are up. Get the likes up. Don't smash that like button for the algorithm. I'm cooking here, folks. I'm cooking. Uh-oh, Osiris TV Skylar, looking this way with the... I guess that's a smiley face. What is that? I don't do emoticons. I don't do emojis. Whatever you want to say, you can do it, but I can't read them, so I don't go on beyond it. Hate harder, exactly. Yes, hate harder. Hate harder. But would you, sir? Would you, Osiris? Yes. Would you marry an atheist, and why or why not? I'm gonna ask some personal questions now of the people in my live chat. Would you marry an atheist female, or maybe, I don't know, maybe you might want to go with a guy. I don't know. I'm married to one. Okay, good to go. So did she become an atheist when you were married, or before? Did you both? Are you married? Are you an atheist too, Osiris? I don't do pussy. Yeah, I got you. But no, are you an atheist as well? And were you an atheist before you married her? That's the real question you gotta ask. Were you an atheist before you married? I've been an atheist for going on. It'll be 19 years. Oh, well, not 19 years. What would it be? 17 years. I've been an atheist for 17 years. All right, so I don't care about all that religion shit. She has always been. She has always been. Okay, good to go. Yeah, I mean, some people are completely faithful, and I mean that in the sense of, based on doctrines and the word of that's been passed down through ancient books. I don't mean to be in the romantic sense of being faithful to your spouse. But there are so many people that have, the game all wrong. They have it all mixed up. They got it figured out. Completely wrong. And that's the sad part. That's the sad part. There are a few, let me see, generational cohort among married adults who are atheists. The most atheists are Generation X, with 43%. The next is baby boomer. Next is older millennial and younger millennial, at 3%. Men are more atheists than women by a great percentage. 67% of men are atheists. 33% of women are atheists. I can only go for an atheist chick, but I'm praying. I'm praying that she's an atheist and an objectivist. I'm saying hallelujah to the Lord Jesus. Please send me a girl, send me a female, send me a woman that has her mind on right. She's an atheist and an objectivist. That was a contradiction. That was a completely, fallacy. You can't pray for something. You can't pray for anything, really, but especially not for an atheist. You can't. It's like, cancels out, But that's the insane world we live in. It's completely insane. I mean, I have bipolar disorder. I'm the one that has to see people say things like, yeah, I just prayed on it, and I prayed on it, and I prayed on it, and it came true for me. It came to life. Like, is there a thing called causality and correlation? Did anybody hear about this before? Is anybody aware of this? Causality and correlation? Anything? Logic, reason, something like that? And I remember as a child, I was like, yup, it's all about Jesus. It's all about God. Yup. That's the only thing I knew. But once I got open to the world of Ayn Rand, I said, whoa, what do we have here? What do we have here? We have a completely radical way of viewing things now. This is something that is completely, off the charts. This is amazing. And I had to fight for it. I had to fight it in my mind. I had to say, I had to redirect things. I had to cross over certain things and say, this makes sense. This doesn't make sense. Had to do all of that. That's what made sense to me. It's been going on for 17 years. 17 years I've been an atheist. But 16 years I was within the faith. I was part of the faithful. I was saying prayers. I said prayers to people that are pretty much didn't give a goddamn about me. But I lifted up prayers to say, this could happen. This is going to happen. This is going to happen. And it didn't happen. Or if it did happen, it wasn't because of a prayer. It was probably because I figured out something and it just happened by, it occurred by happenstance. It wasn't because of some, mysterious, fictitious face in the sky. And that's the odd thing too. Why is it always up? Why don't we look down? What if heaven is underneath us? I know the good book, the Bible, says it's beyond the stars, it's beyond the sky. But we already know what's beyond the stars and the sky. The planets in another solar system, and the solar system, and other galaxies. What is there to know? I have 0 viewers right now, by the way. 0 viewers. This is not a hot topic. It's not a trending topic. Is this something that I want to know about? Is this something I want to see? So that's all right. I can take my lumps. I appreciate everybody that does have a sensibility towards making it right, making it understanding what I'm saying. Because this is serious talk. This is real talk. People's lives are at stake when they talk about it. And that's one thing that they always say. There's never an atheist in a foxhole. Well, what the hell is there other than atheists in a foxhole? God's not going to help you. What do you think? God's going to help you? Why isn't God going to help the other side? You're supposed to love your enemy, do good to those who curse you, do good to, this isn't part of the Bible, but do good to those who shoot at you and throw bombs at you. Why aren't you helping the other side? Why don't you shoot yourself? Why don't you commit suicide? Oh, you can't commit suicide because, of course, that's a mar on your record. You go to hell, you go straight to hell for committing suicide. And that goes back to our assisted suicide. So I got 1 person in here, 1 like. I'm feeling it. I don't care. I'm going ahead. It's full steam ahead. Y'all can hate all y'all want. I appreciate it. I'm gonna read some more. This is amazing. This is amazing. This is amazing. Racial and ethnic composition among married adults who are atheists. The lowest is other mixed. The next is Asian. No, next is Black, Asian, Latino, and get this, 86% are white. That's not surprising, but it's just amazing. It's just like, damn. That's the reality. I mean, blacks. I'm not too surprised. I'm not surprised at that. It just is a huge bar, showing it. So this is amazing research. This is pretty good. You should look it up. It's on pewresearch.org, and just look up atheists and faith or something like that. It's pretty cool. Income distribution among married adults who are atheists. 49% are $100,000 or more. It's pretty extraordinary. But I want to know, what are the figures on objectivists? Objective in the school of the Ayn Rand. Rationality, individualism, and reason, individualism, and capitalism. That's what I want to know about. What are the figures on that? What are the figures on her philosophy, her way of showing to the world what is true, what is exact, what is right, what is good? What are those numbers like? Where do they exist? That's the thing that will be ground shaking and earth shattering. That amazement, that great day when we finally come to grips with the truth, not Jesus, the truth. He's not the truth. He's a narcissist. He's a narcissistic altruist. I don't even know how you could be that, but he certainly was. I'm the way, the truth, and the life. Really, nigga? Like, the way, the truth, and the life? Are you kidding me? Gotta be kidding me. That's just narcissism beyond all. No one can go through me unless they seek the Father first. Excuse me. Nobody can seek the Father unless they go through me. I am that I am. All of that. And what is God? Is God Jesus? Is Jesus God? Is Jesus the Holy Spirit? Is that the Holy Trinity? The Holy Trinity is not Jesus, but Jesus is the Holy Spirit, or something like that. It's really goofy. That's how goofy that faith, is. That's how sickening it is, and deplorable it is. What are you saying? Unwind with to sweeties and from the school of Iran. What? Rick James, you're definitely on the dust. Precious, whoa, what? Precious Lord, lead me on, take my hand. And I'm tired, I'm weak, I'm worn. He's singing now, okay. That's my one person, I'll take that. Rick James is usually going to be in the trenches with me no matter what. We got a buddy system, pause. He's always going to be in the trenches no matter how many people are in here. I salute him. Salute Rick James. He's got he's got a blue wrench for a reason. I appreciate him. So that's what we have to understand. We have to come to a comprehension about the ideas of what makes just true. I have yet to go to an atheist funeral. Why is that? Why can't I go to a funeral where everybody understands that this person's life is done? There's no afterlife. There's no death. There's no heaven. There's no hell. There's just finished. Just like the ending of a book, the ending of a sentence. It's finished. There's nothing to go on. That's it. And same thing goes with the pages before it. There's blank pages before it. But the writing, let's worry about the writing. Let's worry about the content, their life. And celebrate it. It deserves to be celebrated. Enjoy it. Enjoy the fact that they lived. Enjoy that they were in existence for whatever amount of time they were in here. They were in life. That's what we have to go after. That's the thing we have to constantly strive for and continue to fight for. It's a battle. Got 2 people in here. 1 like. 2 people. Second person, hit that like button so I can get 2 likes out of this deal. I might have to go on later. I don't know. I thought 4 o'clock was going to be my sweet spot. Maybe it's the topic. I don't know. Nobody wants to talk about faith and atheism. And I mean, that's such a word, atheist. It used to hit me. I used to be like, ooh, atheism. Ooh. It's like sexy. It's like scary. It's like weird. He's an atheist. She's an atheist. What kind of person is that? Do they have morals, ethics, virtues? Who are they? What kind of person? Do they have a system of morality? What kind of person are they? Oh my God. An atheist? Thank you for that second like. I appreciate it. Thank you. But oh my God, an atheist? Really? How could they be an atheist? What is the deal with being an atheist? How can they be atheists? Oh my God. And then I'm like, years later, I'm like, I'm an atheist. And it's like, real. It's not even like a problem. It's not even anything I have to hide or say anything about. I'll say it plainly. I'm an atheist. Anybody who wants to know. I used to remember how my cousins were deep. They were in Catholicism. I think they went to private school. And they used to go like this when they prayed. They go like that. And then they do the sign of the cross. What is it? Spectacles, testicles, wallet to clock, or something like that. And not my cousins, because they were all girls. But for me it would have been that. But yeah, I was just so taken. I was like, why are they doing that? And each faith has its own little ways of being its own thing. Like the Amish people, the Mennonites, they use horse and buggy. Should you be using horse and buggy? Tell me, why are you riding around the Range Rover when this guy's in a horse and buggy? That offends Jesus that you're in a Land Rover. But I don't think they say that. They say like, well, to each his own. That's their God. That's their way of worshiping God. This is our way of worshiping God. I think they have this understanding because they go to different places like stores. They have lighting. They're not lit by candle. It's so goofy. It's sad. And then once again, it has to be serious because there's the things like the Crusades and the Reformation and different things like that. And then you had what's going on now. People getting persecuted, being killed for being Israeli. Same thing goes. It has to. I think it was Voltaire that said, if you can get them to believe in, if you can get them, I'm gonna look it up. God damn it. If you get them to believe in, you can get in absurdities. That's the word. If you can get them to believe in absurdities, you can get them to commit atrocities. That's it. That is like, that was such a, that was it. It was Voltaire. He said that way back. We're going back. This is during the 18th century when he said that. He said that during the 18th century. So we're going back a little ways. Going back to about 200, 300 years, almost 300 years. But that is the truth. That's the reality of all this. Being faithful. And if you want to marry somebody who's part of the faith and you're not part of the faith, I just want to see what happens. I'm not going to wish any divorce on you or separation. I just would like to see what sparks may fly. I would like to see the reality which will happen or may not happen and see if it goes anywhere. If you've been in a relationship, some people have been in a relationship for 7 to 10 years and then they get married. So then they say, we've been married for 40 years, but we, been together for 50 or something like that. So you just have to realize that part of it. Not a lot of people take that into account or take it seriously. Not a lot of people actually do. It's not something that, a lot of people like to discuss. That's the thing with faith. Faith is like going to the bathroom to me. Faith is like using the restroom. It's a private matter. It should only be used, and if you are in distress, if you are in distress and you're an atheist, you don't have to use it. The analogy doesn't apply to you. But for those who believe, keep it your own. Keep it to yourself. Keep it personal. Then you can meet with anybody you want in the streets and to the churches that you may go. Then you can have your fellowship. You can have your Bible study. You can have your baptism. You can have your christening. You can have all the different little activities that go with being part of the faith. That's the reality of it. But I have to, witness faith daily. My father's a minister. Go figure. I'm a PK, a preacher's kid. But my dad wasn't a minister when I became an atheist. That's a fact. It's a totally different situation. I don't believe in God. I believe in goddess. Okay? Rick James usually has the off-color gonzo, weirdo, responses I always enjoy. So keep that up, Rick James. Okay, I got 2 people in the likes. I need 2. And now it's down to 2 people in the views. Okay, but that is the reality of all of this. We have to look at reality. That pertains to human existence. Metaphysics is just the universe. It's just the existence of the universe. Existence exists, and that's it. But with other matters, with epistemology, that's with reality. That's with dealing with reality. That's with facts, with truths, with reason. That's what we have to deal with. That's what we always have to understand. That's what we have to continue to fight for. And this battle is going to take every piece of machinery and every piece of ammunition that we can muster up to really go against the evils that are going on today. That's the reality of what we're facing. Because it's like people, billions and billions and billions and billions, billions and billions and billions of people, who said that, by the way, who really didn't say that, which is ironic. He really never really said it that much, or if he did say it at all. I say it's Carl Sagan, but billions of people believe in something that isn't there, that doesn't exist. There's no there, as Dr. Yaron Brooks says. There's no there. And yet, people still believe and still want to believe. It's just, and the same thing goes with something like racism. Racism is hilarious. It's laughable. But there's so many atrocities, so many different sickening occurrences that have occurred with in regard to racism that it's not funny. I mean, you can make it funny. There's like Chris Rock had a joke about James Byrd. He didn't joke about James Byrd dying, but he's included into his act as a reference. James Byrd was a man who was decapitated on the back of a truck back in 1998. These 3 white supremacists picked him up for a ride and then killed him. It's horrible. But you can make light of it. That's why you have so many comedians, Dave Chappelle, Chris Rock, so many other ones. I mean, I think Jerry Seinfeld has jokes about race and stuff like that. So that's just something that we have to grapple with. It's something that we have to continue to fight hard and fight smart, fight smartly, fight with great understanding of where we are and what we need to do. That is the power of what we are doing. That is the power of changing minds, changing thoughts, not changing hearts. Heart ain't nothing but a glorious pump. That's the truth. It's a glorious pump, but a pump nonetheless. It's your mind, and that's the thing we're continuing to do too. Oh, it's my heart. It's my heart. No, it's not your heart. It's your brain. Your brain processes all this. It's your 5 senses connected to your brain that goes to it. Your heart thumps when you see your lover or something like that, or something is very traumatic is going on, because your brain processes it through your senses, and that's what is causing your heart to thump, because it's sending out blood to the necessary parts of your body that need to take action. So I just want to say in closing that I want to have a wife who is an objectivist, therefore who is an atheist. It may be when I'm in my 60s or 70s when I get married. I don't know. If I get married, I'll probably be in my 60s or 70s, something like that. But I'm really looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to a healthy relationship with a beautiful woman, and I want our children to be, in the knowledge of reason, purpose, and self-esteem, have those cardinal values all wrapped up, and continue to fight on. No matter what may hinder me, I will go around it, go through it, go under it, and go above it if I need to. So thanks again, and take care.